you have to have really great products at the core.
Okay, welcome back to the Marketing Playbook presented by PDQ, Pretty Damn Quick, and Details Interactive. Here you'll take away 3 game-winning marketing plays every episode to take back to your team. I'm your host, Mark Friedman, and my career has been focused on direct-to-consumer marketing, direct mail, physical retail, and digital commerce. This is episode number 141, and my guest is Katy Mimari. Katy's the founder and CEO of Caden Lane, a children's brand that's grown from a single diaper bag idea into a nearly 9-figure multi-product baby and lifestyle company. What makes Katy's story remarkable isn't just the scale of the business, it's that she built it over 21 years as a self-taught entrepreneur without outside investment and while remaining 100% privately owned. Starting at just 24 years old, Katy transitioned from photography into product design, turning a personal need into a thriving brand trusted by parents nationwide. Caden Lane has evolved from diaper bags and crib bedding into a direct-to-consumer powerhouse known for personalization, strong storytelling, and a boutique-style online experience. Beyond products, Katy has built community, including her top 10 parenting podcast, I'm That Mom. In this conversation, we dive into brand building, AI integration, marketing strategy, and what it really takes to grow while staying authentic. Before we get started, a quick thank you as always to Max Brandstetter of the Wild Business Growth Podcast for producing this episode. You can reach him at max@maxpodcasting.com to help bring your podcast to life. Let's open the playbook. Ready, break. Well, hello everyone. Thank you for joining the Marketing Playbook podcast. Today I'm joined by Katy Mimari, who is the founder of children's brand Caden Lane. Katy was born in San Antonio, Texas, a self-taught entrepreneur and University of Texas at Austin graduate with a BS in marketing. Katy started her baby business while she was pregnant with her first child and grew it to nearly 9-figure business as a single mom of 3. Katy also hosts the brand's podcast, I'm That Mom, which ranks top 10 in parenting podcasts for Apple. Much of the company's financial success, she says, has come from taking no outside investments. Katy notes, I believe in investing in yourself, doing the work, and didn't want someone else controlling my story. It's been a bumpy ride for sure, but we've learned to pivot quickly and never be afraid of change. Caden Lane still remains 100% privately owned, with Katy keeping full control. Made by women for women, Caden Lane is owned, led, and operated with a nearly 95% female team. Katy, welcome to the show.
Thank you. You read my bio so good. I was like, gosh, that's why she's so tired. She did all of that.
Well, it's funny. I have listened to some of your podcasts and I've followed along. And as I was mentioning, my granddaughter looks great in some of your products. She's 16 months old. Her name is Colby. My daughter is really loving it. So you do some great work there.
Oh, how do you like being a grandpa? I'm pretty sure that I've been training my whole life to be a grandma, and I think it actually might be better than being a mom.
Well, I will tell you, I have a lot of friends that were grandparents before me, and they all said, hey, it's great, it's amazing, it's unlike anything else you've ever experienced. And I will tell you, they were underplaying it because it's just spectacular. And they live very close to us, so I get to see her a lot. We get to see her every morning through FaceTime. It's amazing to see how fast they grow. And as I mentioned, we have twins, and they're now 32 years old. I don't have any recollection of when they were this age. It's amazing. Anyway, we start all of these shows, now 141 of them. Katy, getting the first story from the guest, where you grew up, how perhaps the upbringing might have suggested the career path that you would have taken.
Okay, cool. Well, so I am from Texas, born and raised in San Antonio, and actually have 2 very entrepreneurial parents. So I would say I learned a lot of my business skills by osmosis, just playing with calculators and watching my parents, go into business meetings. And I like to tell the story too. My favorite thing to play when I was young was either hotel or restaurant. And my mom tells me that my sister was always my assistant. So, but yeah, I've just lived in Texas forever. Went to University of Texas in Austin, and now live in Boerne, Texas, which is just outside of San Antonio. And we built a 50,000 square foot facility here about a year and a half ago, and it's just amazing. It's close to everyone's schools and homes, and I definitely have to pinch myself sometimes. It's kind of what I always dreamed about.
It's amazing how often I ask that question all the time. And for the folks that are founders, entrepreneurs, how frequently they talk about how their parents were entrepreneurial or they had a small store, but they were in business for themselves. And that seems to have rubbed off on so many folks.
Oh, absolutely. And I think now you can have a major in entrepreneurship like in college, but I think it's just something that we were just born with. Although I am one of 6 kids and only 2 of us have businesses. The other ones all work for my parents still. So it's not a guarantee if you're an entrepreneur that your kids will become one. And it's still, I've got 3 kids, so we'll see how they turn out. One of them seems promising. The other 2, jury's still out.
Well, hopefully it'll work out the way you want it to. I always prep these shows. I take a look at what people have done, what they post on their LinkedIn. It's like for you, college and Caden Lane, but there had to be something in the middle. What was that?
They're just a year. And I should be better at LinkedIn too. I'm terrible at it. I have so many hours in the day and I run out of them every day. But I graduated from college and almost immediately started Caden Lane. I had a small stint in California where I thought I was going to go get my master's in photography. That I ran out of money really quick. So came back to Austin, yeah, and started my first company. I was 24 years old. So I've never had a resume ever.
That's great. And for starting the business or when you started the business, was there a void in the market that you saw? I've been in the apparel space a lot in my career. And although there may not be a void necessarily, they may be product designers, they may be a merchandising background, and they're like, okay, I can sell apparel because I have this idea about being a designer. Did you come at it from that perspective, or did you come from the point of view is that there was a void in the kids market?
I can't sew a button onto a shirt. So I certainly did not come at it saying I could make these things. I actually had started my first company in college, and I was a photographer for like babies and toddlers at daycare centers. And that was kind of my first look into business mostly. I learned very quickly that being a photographer, I could only make as much money as I could find time in the day, and scalable was not a word. And so when I graduated, I really just wanted to start a business. And I knew I wanted to be the boss, and I knew it had to be scalable. My friends were starting to get married and have kids. And so there definitely was a light bulb moment when I was in the car with a friend and she had just had a baby and she had this horrible diaper bag. And I was like, gosh, there's got to be a better way, right, to do that. And I think looking back, I would have loved to have gone into apparel, but I knew it was oversaturated, and not knowing anything about apparel, I just wanted a product that I was going to enjoy. And diaper bags just kind of fell into it. The company quickly transitioned into crib bedding because that year I ended up getting pregnant myself, and started to decorate a nursery, realized there wasn't a lot of choices. And then that's more when like the stereotypical entrepreneurial journey kind of started of like, well, I can't find it, so other people might want it and I'm going to create it for myself. But yeah, no, there was no like big, I think that's what people want to hear, right? Is that entrepreneurs kind of just saw some huge opportunity and they grabbed it. And I think that the honest answer is sometimes we just fall into it. And I loved working with children. And I mean, it was hard. It was definitely hard work. I had to make it work.
So for those that don't know the brand Caden Lane, let's take a step back. Draw a picture for everybody about the product assortment that you sell and kind of how you describe the aesthetic of the brand.
So I will say we've been doing it for 21 years. So you can imagine how many variations of products and product types we've gone through. We started off as diaper bags and then went into nursery design and crib bedding. We had a couple of fun years of doing celebrity nurseries. And then in 2009, 2010, we actually came out with our first apparel line and started leaning into accessories. Today, our brand is I would say like our hero product, and what we're really known for is everything that is in the bassinet or something that you pack in your hospital bag when you have a baby. Everything that would be in that first photo where you introduce your baby to the world. That really kind of helped us scale, I'd say, in like the 2010s to 15s. And then we added in bamboo pajamas, which it sounds like your grandkids have. And we have a huge swim line too. We do personals. We have like 5,000 live SKUs on our products. So how long is this podcast? Because I could keep going in product categories, but those are our big ones. And now I would describe the brand as really like your favorite local boutique, but online. I want it to feel like you're going into a mom and pop shop and right. And that you have that like experience of merchandising and shopping and seeing all the different product types. We've always loved color and prints and patterns but I think it's also kind of evolved, right? As trends have evolved and I don't know. I don't know where it's going to go after this. So, but somewhere big.
Storytelling is really important. And, you talk about, making it feel like it's a boutique. Again, I look at the site differently today. I would have looked at it strictly as an operator of a digital business up until 16 months ago, and since then I look at it not only that way, but also as a consumer because I'm potentially buying product. But you do a great job. First of all, the photography is really strong. And I think that you come to the site, it feels like it's a good product, a great product, although, I've been in the apparel business for so long, it's really hard to make that the two-dimensional, make it look like the product is really good, right? You can imagine, but storytelling is super important. So how do you deal with all the storytelling?
We think of it in different ways. So the pictures that we actually use on site are different than the photos that we use even in our online marketing, like on Meta or Pinterest or TikTok or whatever. I think of storytelling, especially for our brand, as moments that the moms need. So with even our podcast, we really lean into our mission, which is to help make moms' lives easier. We obviously did not like reinvent the wheel on anything. There's no products that we make that are just like, a different kind of pajama. What we've really focused on is just making some of the core basics better. And I think by telling moms how we do it better with our copy and then using our video to educate moms. So, I'm sure when your daughters were pregnant, there's just an overwhelming amount of information. And so we really try to help educate our customers through everything, about infertility, about products, about sleep habits, about newborns, about breastfeeding. And we use that as a connection for trust. And then I think that's what helps deliver the message of brand quality too, right? Like I want our customers, when somebody gets pregnant, I want them to think, where's the best place to go online or if your best friend's pregnant and you're telling her, oh, you have to go check out Caden Lane. And that's kind of our goal is to really just be like the girlfriend's brand, right? For new moms and trendy moms. And we lean into it. We like to say there's no one way to do something. There's just your way.
And how do you have time for a podcast?
Because they make me go do it. I don't know. Usually they come into my office and go, we're recording today. And I've done zero prep for it and I just go in there. But it's such fun topics to talk about.
Mention the name of the show again.
It's called I'm That Mom, which and we say it, we say it kind of jokingly, like, yep, I'm that mom. Like, I'm the mom that sneaks a bottle of wine into my son's football games. And I'm that mom that, definitely didn't sleep train. Everything is based around trying to kind of, make it easier for moms, not so much stress on everything.
Static checkouts are costing you money. Every shopper sees the same offers and too many walk away. That's why Shopify's fastest growing brands use PDQ, pretty damn quick. the checkout segmentation platform. PDQ personalizes the checkout experience by creating tailored flows for each customer segment, whether they're first-time buyers, high spenders, or returning VIPs. Their platform runs ongoing A/B tests, automatically sets the best performing experience, and keeps optimizing for higher conversion and AOV. The result? More completed checkouts, less abandonment, and millions in uplift. Discover your brand's optimal checkout with PDQ at prettydamnquick.com. You are the founder, but today, what's your job? What do you do?
We're recording this and I am in our offices. I still come here Monday through Friday. I am pretty much the CEO and I would say the CMO. So we do everything from product creation to ads to commercials to photography. Our social is in-house. We are all located here in Texas. So we have a couple remote people, but we really try to be in office. And then we do all of our own personalization and fulfillment here. So half of the company is operations, which I have just this rock star of a woman that runs that for me. And my favorite part is sitting over marketing. But then I also clean the toilets if they need to be cleaned. I can vacuum. I can pretty much do everybody's job, which helps me sleep at night because sometimes, right, like we have, the occasional turnover or somebody's sick or has a baby, and it does make me feel good to know that I've really done everybody's job that's here. And that we now have probably over 60 employees, and I can confidently tell them I have all done your jobs.
Is there something that was much more difficult than you ever expected it to be, being a founder and a CEO of a business?
Yes, managing people. Yes. I dream of the days if I could go back to where there was only like five of us. And we didn't have to worry about process because there was only five of us. And so, we could do things faster and quicker. And I thought, oh my gosh, if my company would just get bigger and grow, and I have the funds to hire more people and, take things off my plate. It is great. I mean, I do have a team now that's just incredible. But oh my gosh, managing, I mean, we have to use Airtable just for project management. Thank God for AI. It's made our life easier recently. But just keeping the culture, I put a lot of emphasis on culture here. We like to keep a very fun work environment. And, I'm coming to work here. That's why I tell them, I'm like, look, the first thing I do when I'm hiring somebody is I just try to think if I'm going to enjoy working with them because everything we do is figure outable. And so I can teach them how to do what I need them to do. I need them to be a good culture fit.
You mentioned AI. You can't have conversations like this without AI. Can you talk about some things that, you're leveraging AI for that's either, improved profitability and improved efficiency, anything?
We're obsessing over it is the nice way to put it. And it's, for the most part, our teams now, once they all started playing with it, have just embraced it. I think the biggest advantage to it is that it's taken some of the more mundane tasks, right, that maybe take somebody longer to do. And we've been able to automate it and make it faster so that they have time to work on more exciting, bigger projects. That's really what AI is bringing. Like, it's not meant to replace people altogether. And I have to say that, right, to our teams too. Like, you're not training your replacement, but you are training your own personal assistant. And that's especially in marketing, we try to lean into it with creative. Just in the last 2 weeks, it's come so far. It's pretty crazy. We kind of have a thing we use a Slack channel, and sometimes we'll send two photos, like from our photo shoot, and then an AI image, and we're like, okay, everybody vote, like which one is the real one and which one is the AI. I am constantly shocked at how often half of us are wrong. But we use it in operations a lot. We use it for automation with our personalization. Yeah, I renamed my Claude Claudette. I don't know. Do you use Claude?
Use Claude, ChatGPT. I'm still learning which are the ones that are better for different,
That's
tactics.
right.
Yeah, they're all a little bit different, and recently have spent a bunch of time with the Claude plugin for Excel.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Really, really good. Yes.
And then you need to go play. We use it. I mean, all the platforms like Google Analytics has their own AI built in. We use a platform called Higgsfield for creative, which has been a huge unlock. But I did rename my Claude Claudette because I am certain that she might multitask better than Claude does. So
One of the things that, in businesses, like this, marketing, certainly matters. You mentioned, you spend a lot of time as the CMO. So from a marketing point of view, talk a little bit about how you're driving traffic to the site. I'm sure there's many different tentpoles that are doing that, but what are your main drivers?
I mean, our biggest driver is, of course, advertising, and with social media being first and foremost. So I'd say majority of our traffic, especially new customer acquisition, is coming through Meta. With Pinterest and AppLovin right behind it, Google is massive, of course. A good 20 to 30% of our traffic is organic or direct, which is a gold mine, right? That's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Everyone wants as much direct traffic as possible.
That's why you're doing that podcast, Katie.
That's right. It's the podcast. It's our engagement on like we try to work a lot with Babylists, which is a big registry platform. And it's 21 years of building a brand. I think that in the last 10 years, we've seen a lot of just kind of stores come up, pop up and come back down, especially on TikTok shops. And we talk a lot about brand here and what that means and how valuable is it. And I think if you really were to break down your traffic sources and you look at what your direct traffic volume is as a percentage of total, that's about how valuable your brand is. And so that's how we measure it. And we really try to focus on it. And then of course we run commercials on TV, which, fun little fact, I'm the voiceover on them because we could never find a voiceover person that we liked. And so we just said, well, we can do this ourselves. And we started recording it ourselves. And we have one brick and mortar store, but this next year we're going to be leaning into opening even more owned retail stores. So we're very excited about
Where's
that.
the one store today?
It's in Texas. It's here in San Antonio.
You mentioned TV, so I saw a spot. One of the things with the whole conversation here about marketing, measurement really matters and how you measure. So how do you think about measurement, and specific to TV, which is a little bit more challenging to measure its performance for you?
Yeah. Oh, and actually, I think measurement in general has gotten really hard. So we use an MTA called Northbeam to really track a lot of our digital ad spend, which is great as long as they're clicking. And so, like to your comment about TV, that's a view through, and we have a platform that will measure it and basically look for spikes when a commercial airs to see how many people are coming to the site and how many are converting during that. But as a consumer myself, I think about, well, I've seen a commercial during the day, and then later that night I go and I Google the name of the company or the brand. But what's really become hard is measuring within our ad platforms. So much of our traffic is driven from Facebook or Instagram or TikTok. And if you think about how really our behavior and the younger generation, they're not clicking as much. So the clickers are our grandparents. They still click, thank goodness, because it helps us really measure, right, the success. So we kind of tend to look in like a 7-day window, 1-day click. But lately, we've been really looking at view throughs. So we spend a lot of time and effort on video, and we concentrate on view throughs. So how long somebody watches something. And my most recent obsession is trying to get Meta to measure screenshots, because I think so many people screenshot something that they see online, to save in their photos later and go back. But so far, I haven't had any success with that with Meta, but I will follow up with you. I'm not quitting.
You as the CMO and CEO, there's all these challenges between those roles and a CFO. When the CFO in many companies is saying, geez, Meta is just not performing, and you're sitting there saying, well, it's top of funnel, it's brand awareness. How do you have that conversation with your finance team?
Oh, I just tell her, be quiet. I know what I'm talking about and I'm the boss.
And I'm sure, so I'll name drop. I have met Kristen only through LinkedIn. She was the one that was kind enough to put us together. And then very recently, she and I have been chatting about a particular functionality and a vendor that you guys are using.
She is amazing. She actually is my CFO and my COO. She was so good at one title, we gave her two. But so we do a lot of testing. So we'll do incrementality testing through different platforms with holdouts to test those theories, right? So we love testing. In fact, if you were to go to our website right now, there's a high likelihood that you would see something different on your desktop than you would on mobile. So we're constantly testing image performance and click-through performance and cart and coupons and copy and overlay and I mean just anything and everything you can think of. So if Kristen were to come to me and challenge Meta's performance, the first thing I'd say is, well, watch this. If I increase spend on Meta, our revenue goes up. And if I decrease spend on Meta, our revenue goes down. So I usually win with that comment. But it's the mix of all of them and understanding, right, like multi-touch attribution. So is it Meta that's feeding the traffic that then they're coming back and Googling Caden Lane, right? And then is Google getting that touch attribution? Is AppLovin retargeting people within their gaming apps? And is Pinterest just something where people are looking, they're shopping early, right? Maybe it has a longer conversion window. When I tell you, Mark, that we obsess over those things, like
You're in the
literally.
business. You're a product development, shop, and you are a marketing shop. And I had made a note to, just for the show. I worked at a company years and years ago called the Company Store. It was a catalog. We sold down comforters and pillows. We had a children's line,
Yeah, I think I remember it.
and the business really rocketed very, very quickly. People would say to me, what's the secret sauce? I was a marketer, I'm a marketer, and I would always say, look, it's all about having great product and great creative. And so long as I don't screw it up with marketing, we're going to be great. But now it's not quite so simple. You've got to have great product, but you need to know how to turn all those levers you just talked about.
Absolutely. And I actually, when I think about our company and especially how long we've been around and how it's changed, because our company started off as wholesale. So the old school way where we would sell to, stores like Nordstrom or Buy Buy Baby or brick and mortar stores, and we didn't have a website. And then in 2016, we completely transitioned into direct to consumer. And now sometimes we feel more like a marketing firm or agency that just happens to sell really great baby products. But I'll say I do think you have to have really great products at the core because I've got so many friends that own brands where they're kind of a one and done, right? Like they're selling something, it's a one-time buy and their customers don't come back. But we really value our LTV of our customers, our lifetime value. And so whatever they order on that first purchase, we need them to just be obsessed with so that they come back and we can scale, right, even larger and have higher CACs so we can absorb it so that hopefully they're coming back time after time after time. And that's what we try to focus on.
The devil is in the details. You probably have heard that phrase time and time again in your professional life. Projects get started with great intentions, but you no longer have the time to pay attention to the little things that could make the difference between success and failure. At Details Interactive, you can discuss your business with a seasoned direct-to-consumer marketing executive who's helped launch and grow web businesses and integrate multi-channel marketing initiatives. Learn more at detailsinteractive.com. You made a comment before about, the younger people are not clicking, the grandparents are clicking. I would imagine you've got a multi-generational customer. So maybe talk a little bit about the customer.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. We kind of have I would say four large customer types. So we have the pregnant expecting mom that's looking for her baby's coming home outfit. And she's just absorbing as much information as she can get. Then we have the mom with toddlers, and she's just looking for practical, soft solutions that will basically help her baby sleep longer. And then we have the grandma who doesn't care how much anything costs. She's just there to spoil. And she's our favorite customer because she likes to come back and come back often. And then our fourth one is our gift giver. So that's maybe an aunt or uncle or it's a best friend, or it's, a work colleague, and it's somebody that's showing up with a thoughtful, personalized gift to their friend or family's baby shower. So we've complicated it for ourselves by having, very different customers, and we try to think of them, as different cohorts so we can talk to each one separately. But really, if I think about the mass amounts of our product messaging, it's just, to create really soft, really great baby products that moms are going to love. I think that the birth of a child is such a huge moment in somebody's life. And so it's a time of celebration. And we've been through now several recessions. So it's nice to know that people still continue to spend money on their children.
You mentioned, obviously the size of the company and its growth. From a technology perspective, do you tend to be the buy off the shelf or the build on your own?
Oh, Kristen will tell you we are a build on your own. Sometimes not to our advantage, because I think we could buy off the shelf and get to something quicker. But we are very hands-on learners, and because of our personalization aspect on our website, so a good 50% of our products can be personalized with baby's name in many different ways: embroidery, laser, direct-to-garment printing, you name it. And so we've had to kind of get creative. Some of our software or our SaaS platforms start off with their basic, and then we expand on it. And I would say that's something that AI has just opened up all kinds of opportunity for us, because now even I can code with Claudette. So it's pretty incredible, just in the last 2 weeks, to see what we have been able to do on site and with our platforms. And I mean, have you played with it at all? Surely.
Yes, absolutely. And look, I've been at this a while. It doesn't come as naturally to me as some of the folks I work with that are 25 years old.
Yeah.
But I have figured out, how to ask the prompts, and I'm not a coder, so I'm not coding Python, but I've just evolved the way I ask, the questions and the
That's right.
data that I can get out. I've been using it a lot, candidly, for large data sets, the things that I just wouldn't, even though I'm a numbers person, I wouldn't be able to probably see the patterns, the trends that are in there. And it's very, very good at that. And
Oh,
even building some forecasting models, things that probably would have taken us 4 or 8 hours to even, map out what it was going to look like. It spits it out in a few iterations. Yeah.
yeah. I think about, I mean, everyone hates using Google Analytics now, ever since they came out with the GA4. I would tell everybody listening to this, go into your Google Analytics and go up to the top right corner, click on the little sparkles, which is it's Gemini inside of Google Analytics. You don't have to understand how to navigate that platform anymore. Now you can just say, what's the percentage of my direct or my traffic that comes to collection landing pages? Or, I mean, you can just ask it a question. And I think too, to your comment about learning prompts, I've learned too that, I mean, everyone starts off with, like, I use ChatGPT for prompts, and then I use these different platforms to do the coding. And I have actually seen a lot of success with just having a conversation with your, whatever, Claudette first, and telling it what you're visualizing. And then the really cool thing is it comes back and asks you questions. And that's where a lot of our team, we've kind of changed the way they thought about it. Like, don't worry about the perfect prompt. That's not what you're trying to do. Have a conversation with it first. It'll create its own prompt once it understands what you're trying to do. And that's been a massive unlock for my team as they've all leaned into AI more, for
I
sure.
think that's great advice. The guy that I work with a bit, said to me, you don't need to tell it what you want it to tell you. Just be less directional, perhaps, and you might get more out of it. And I have absolutely found what you just said,
Yes.
that it will start asking you.
It's so true. I encourage everyone to just try it. Just say, like, and you can talking into it's even better, because then you can give it a whole paragraph. But it can be as easy as, hey, do you think this is possible? I would love to have a scratch off on my collection page that revealed the product under it. Can you help me do that? It will just expand on that, and it'll ask you questions. Do you want to see an example? Oh, I have other ideas. And that has been so much better than just going to chat and saying, help me write a prompt. to do this, because then I think it's a just more narrow thinking. So yeah, it's so cool. All your podcasts are going to turn into AI. I think if you are in marketing and you're not leaning into it, oh my God, it's been a massive unlock. Like we're all giddy about it. It's so
Yeah,
exciting.
that's great, and it certainly seems like you're giddy. So that's great. Success. We all define success a bit differently. How did you define success, and do you think that your company's been successful?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that answer has changed a lot over the last few years because when I started my brand, right, I thought, oh my gosh, if I could grow it to $1 million, that would be so cool. And then, right, so quickly it was, well, if I could sell it one day for $10 million, can you imagine? At some point over the last 10 years, I just stopped making those goals. What it has evolved into is if I can make a difference in my customers' lives and I get to enjoy what I'm doing every day, I think that is the greatest success of all. The money part, right? I think when you can focus on those two things, then the money comes with it. But if you're just focusing on financial success, I just, the odds are against you.
Well, you are clearly a successful woman, person, and you've had a great run with this business. I look forward to continuing to spend some money for my granddaughter there.
I would love that.
And again, just as an operator of businesses, I love looking at the business, and folks should go check out the Caden Lane website. So we're down to the end of the show, Katie. It went fast for me. Hopefully, it was okay for you.
It was wonderful.
We have 7 questions, 1-word answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, a brand that you admire or that inspires you.
Baby list. I just think the resource they have for new moms is incredible.
Favorite app on your phone.
Realtor.com.
Last website other than Amazon that you shopped from.
Oh gosh, last night, Anthropology.
And that reminds me, I had so many questions about TikTok shops and Amazon that we didn't get to. We're going to have to do a part 2, Katie.
Okay, sounds good.
Something that you're not good at but wish that you were.
I'm not very good at being patient. I think I wish I had more patience sometimes.
Join the club. Charitable organization that you're passionate about.
Our nonprofit, Conceive Fertility. We raise money to help families struggling with infertility.
If you had one superpower, what would it be?
To have a couple glasses of wine and not have a hangover. As I get older, it's a lot. The effect is a lot harsher now.
Other than family, what's your most prized possession?
My company and the people that work here.
And if people would like to reach out to you on social media, what would be the best place to do so?
Oh my gosh, any and all the places. You can find us on Instagram, yeah, TikTok, LinkedIn, all the things. And I'm happy to share my email. It's katie@cadenlane.com. Happy to always help anybody.
That's great. Katie, really enjoyed chatting with you and meeting you. Thanks for your time and really good stuff for the listeners to take away.
Oh, so nice meeting you.
That's it. Today's game ball goes to Katy Mimari for coming on the Marketing Playbook. To me, today's 3 game-winning marketing plays were as follows. Number 1, great marketing can't fix a mediocre product, but a great product deserves great marketing. Katy emphasized that quality and storytelling go hand in hand. Whether you're building a brand or growing your career, invest deeply in what you're offering, then amplify it strategically. And number 2, stay in control of your vision. For 21 years, Caden Lane has remained privately owned because Katy believes in self-investment and long-term thinking. You don't always need outside validation to build something meaningful. Clarity and consistency compound over time. And number 3, use AI as an accelerator, not a replacement. From marketing to operations, Katy leverages tools like ChatGPT and Claude to eliminate busy work and empower her team to focus on creative, high-impact decisions. The lesson: technology should free you to think bigger, not distance you from your brand. Katy's story is proof that intentional growth, authentic storytelling, and smart innovation can build not just a company, but a community. Thank you, Playbook marketers, for listening to another episode. If you want to check out more pages of the Marketing Playbook, make sure to subscribe on your favorite podcast spot and leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Until next time, the devil is in the details.